Yo, Lego Wigan. As you can see, we're making progress. This shelf is empty. We got 2 Revolve Techs, a Fig Art, 2 Mayfex up there. Don't know if we're getting to them tonight. I'm trying to go through a lot of my Marvel Legends, and this will be my final bit of Legends. Not sure what's next. We got third party, Mayfex, like I said, some Revolve Techs, couple Mezcos, couple third parties. We got a lot to go through still. But now we're going kind of Avengers base. We'll start off. Ka-Zar right here. Pretty excited. I was really excited to get this guy from GameStop. This is the first one that we have. I don't know what order I'm going to go in. Typically, for the past ones, I ask my girlfriend what she wants to see unboxed the most and least, and I go in least to most order. So that's how that's been going. Uh, so I'm not sure. She probably won't care about Ka-Zar, so he might be one of the first ones, honestly. But I'm really excited for to get him. There is some third or some 3D printed stuff on Etsy that I want to get for him as well, like a necklace. I only have Cable in this wave. I wish I could get Zabu, but I don't. But I do have Cable. He was in my X-Men video, so I might show him with this, might not. Who knows? But technically, this is an Avenger. I'm calling this the Avengers video. Every character in here, for the most part, is a Avenger at some point. Actually, probably most of their career. But he is an Avenger. Savage Lands. He's there for a little bit. So you can't argue me on that. He's one. Obviously, Captain America. This is a Target exclusive from maybe a couple months ago. It came out. I don't know if he's a full reissue or not, but he's a comic version of Sam Wilson, so I will take that, especially as we move towards MCU era. And then we do have right here. It's got a Walmart exclusive. It is $15 right now. It's around Black Friday right now, so I don't know if it still will be. But this is that kind of sleeper agent Captain America. Pretty cool. Sticking with it, Target exclusive. We have Warbird here. I'm excited because first, New Avengers is my favorite Avengers run of all time with Bendis, obviously. Um, Also, I love Carol Danvers. I love Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, Warbird, whatever you want to call her. As you can see here, I did pay full price from GameStop for this, but I'm not mad at it. It's the Model 20 Iron Man. And what I was more excited to find, I think I found us somewhere in like Ohio or Texas while I was traveling for work, the She-Hulk, which most of this wave showing up at Ross, which is a little annoying, but this is the only two I have. But we're gonna go in whatever my girlfriend thinks is the most excited for the least excited. I'm pretty excited to open all these. Normally I like to do photos for all three of these videos, but you'll already see if you've seen the other two before this. I do not or don't I don't want to take photos of forcing myself to take photos of between 3, 6, and 7 figures per photo because I like to do like 10 to 20 photos minimum. Like there's more I don't even post. So probably what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take a video of me put them on the shelves. I do have some bit going on the shelves. I did a TikTok tour, so you can see it on my TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. Let's get this started. We'll see what you guys got. We'll talk about it later. Starting off here, we got Ka-Zar. I'm pretty excited to unbox this one. It does look pretty good. It's really nice to have a very nice version of him. I do wish Zabu wasn't the Build-A-Figure for this because I don't think I'll ever be able to get it. So maybe hopefully we'll get a release of it in a couple years by itself. But I am happy to get this Ka-Zar. It's really cool, and I feel like this is no other company's really gonna do him. So this is kind of a I'll probably never buy another Ka-Zar figure after this because I don't know what else Marvel Legends specifically could improve on. But I am super excited to get this thing. But let's open this up. So out the box, I'm pretty excited with how he looks. Very happy with it. Uh, I mean, it's Ka-Zar. He's pretty much just a naked man, but I do think the muscular on him is pretty good. The proportions are great. The aesthetics are nice. I think it's a beautiful head sculpt on here and great detail. And obviously, it is a plain figure, you could say, just because he is pretty much a 90% naked man. But man, this thing looks amazing. It's one of my favorite legends of the year, honestly. Like I said, I know it's basic, but this is something when something's so basic, it's so easy to mess up something like this or even cheap out. And I don't personally feel like that's what we did here. I think the Legends team put a lot of love and care. Obviously, we get Ka-Zar's leg, not Ka-Zar, Zabu's leg. Maybe I don't even know. I'd try the right back leg. I think looking at it, I don't know. I only have like two of the pieces. I only have Cable in this wave, so I don't know if I'll ever even complete it. But man, look at this guy. It looks good. And this is for holding his giant spear or knife that he does come with as well. And he has like grabbing hands, which is pretty cool too that he has on there, which, can't complain. And then fists as well as needed. So we get 3 sets of hands. We get the build a figure piece. And then we also get, like I said, a little knife right here, a dagger if you want to call it that. And this does have a cool area that I'll show later that clips on the back. And then he comes with like a giant spear, which, like I said, I'm very happy. I think this is a pretty good figure to get in this wave. This wave kind of feels like it was underproduced already. But like I was saying, right here, the dagger goes right in the back. And I think it looks really well, works really nice. I love when action figures build the stuff like this into it, where some of his accessories can be stored on him. Articulation, as you'll see, I'm gonna be very satisfied with this guy. Where I think the hair is the only limitation we have here. It makes sense. He's a long-haired dude. I mean, I don't know what else we're expecting. I don't know how any action figure company can get past this. I don't think it's really a choice that we can get. But there's not gonna be any hindrance anywhere else. Butterfly joints, T-pose easy, uh, double jointed elbows, bicep swivel, standard Marvel Legends hands. I do believe that his arms, they have like a weird line on them, and I'm not sure why, like in his forearms, but because you would think it could swivel, but I don't think it can. But as you see, these butterflies work great. There's no hindrance. They come all the way across, and even when you're fully extended, it's not ugly looking in the back either, which sometimes you do get that. Like I think Mayfix Nightwing, sometimes if you overextend where his butterflies, they start to look kind of ugly. But that just is what it is sometimes. But luckily, we don't have that issue here. Beautiful crunch, like I said, no hindrance. Obviously, it looks ugly from behind, but no one's looking at it from behind when you're posing like this. And I mean, pretty standard here. Nothing too crazy. I'm pretty happy with it. Thigh swivel, you kick all the way up. Works pretty well. We do get a double jointed knee, completely pinless, which is beautiful to see. And then we do have a boot swivel as well, which is perfectly hidden by it being a boot. Going to naked skin. I would say pretty good movement on the ankles and feet too. I mean, like I said, I don't think there's anything else a Legends team could have done here. I mean, maybe give him a necklace or some fur on his hands, like a lot of the Etsy sellers and eBay sellers are making. But hey, man, that just helps fund the third party market right there of people making stuff and selling it for the 3D printed stuff. So I don't really have too much complaints on that here. I do think, honestly, this is a perfect figure. This is a perfect pocket figure. Take him anywhere, everywhere. Kind of makes sense. It's Ka-Zar in the jungle. Uh, he's in the wild or Savage Lands. He could be anywhere, man. So I'm pretty excited about it. And like I said, I wish I could get Zabu, but I can't because I'm not buying him by himself, and I probably won't get the whole wave. Not unless it goes on sale. But like I said, I think this wave was pretty underproduced, honestly, because I don't see a lot of them like on sales or even in stores from this wave. I don't remember the last time I seen any, honestly. Like while I was at like a GameStop, I don't see Marvel Legends like that much in person, anyways. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with this. I would give this a pretty good rating, honestly, like a 9, probably 10 out of 10. Like I said, there's nothing else that I would want besides maybe a hair blowing head sculpt would be nice. No, the head sculpt would be really cool, but honestly, I'm sure he'll get re-released sometime within the next couple of years, and he might get like a nice head sculpt or another accessory or something. And I honestly might end up getting that just for the head sculpt, or I might have to check out eBay, Etsy, and Instagram, see who does have a good head sculpt. But like I said, I'm pretty happy with this. He looks really good in my opinion. And I do got him with just one of the, I think it's Delta from Jurassic Express or Jurassic Park, all those movies. But I think it looks pretty good together. And that Hammond collection is going to look really good with him. I do have a clip at the end of him with the bigger dinosaur as well. But now we do have, this is that Walmart exclusive Captain America, like, I don't remember the official name, but it's basically like Hydra on this thing, Secret Empire or something like that. Basically, he's evil. He's Hydra. He's a secret agent, Secret Empire as well. This is a Walmart exclusive. It was on sale for about 15 bucks, like I said in the intro, I believe. And that's an amazing price. I don't think you're beating that for this, especially Walmart exclusives do this thing where they go dirt cheap and then they're just overpriced for the longest. I think he's like back to 37 now. I got him and Prowler at the same time. And right now, that Warlord Xavier is like $6, and I still haven't got it off interest. But man, let me tell you what, this is a beautiful action figure right here. The colors, the sculpt, the detail. It's almost a carbon copy, like complete almost reuse, I think, of that Ultimate Captain America, and that is one of my favorite Marvel Legends of all time. And obviously, just that alone is gonna make this one of my favorite Marvel Legends in my collection. But then you throw in these colors. These colors pop so good. I'm absolutely in love with how this figure looks, moves, and feels in hand. He feels like such a sturdy and solid piece of plastic, but with so much movement, and the details on him are so good. Like everything about this figure, I really, really love as well. Uh, I think this head sculpt might be the only thing that's different between the two Captain Americas. That's not reused, but then again, that might be the alternative sculpt. I don't fully remember, but man, the way the red and white pop between the two different shades of blue is so nice. And then, of course, we have two fists, and like I said, good paint on there. We have his kind of like open, like if he's throwing the shield or holding it, and then that's kind of his holding hand for holding the shield or something else. Doesn't come with a lot of accessories. We do get this cool shield. In the comics, this shield does break into two, and he kind of uses it like that, which would be cool to get. Maybe they'll release it one day. But I do know there is a couple of those being like 3D printed right now that you can buy that I'm looking at as well. So options are out there. Like I said, we got to keep small businesses open, and that helps. And I gotta say, like I was saying, this is reused that Ultimate Captain America. That's some of my favorite Marvel Legends of all time. So you already know I absolutely love the articulation on him. We have that kind of like older style head joint with that ball joint on there that moves, and it's like I said, it's pretty good. It's my preferred head movement joint on here. And right now, I think I am struggling to get him off or get it back on correctly because, like I said, my figures are not warmed up and it's been cold. But man, look at this. Easy T pose, complete bicep swivel right there, double jointed, and look at the colors on this man popping. This is so good looking, man. I'm really, really happy with this. There is no butterfly, but I don't. It would be nice, but I don't think it's needed. For Captain America, too much. I would say some pretty decent movement, nothing crazy. On the crunch, we do get this nice swivel, and really love how it turns and twists right here. It just looks natural. The belt is really helping pretty much break up the line there. We can't kick up. The belt does hinder it a little bit. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and a boot swivel that is pretty nicely hidden. I mean, got these big blue boots on, and it just works wonders. This figure is a masterpiece. It's amazing, and I'm really happy with it. Like I said, it helps that this is pretty much almost a carbon copy of one of my favorite legends of last year and also of all time. And then you put in these nice, beautiful colors that pop, like almost looks like a popsicle, man. He looks so good, and the whole time he's evil. So it is pretty cool, and I do hope we can visit some more like Hydra based Hydra, Modoc, and all them type of AIM, like updated figures. I know we got some a couple years ago. We have two Modocs, a couple of AIM figures that came out randomly here and there. But I would really like to see them to come through. And basically, they don't finish teams, and it's weird to ask for Serpent Society to get updated figures and they haven't finished. But I mean, I'm begging, please, man. We gotta grow out our collection with some of these more bad guys. And not just the main big bad guys either. Like, let's get some random small dudes in here. But man, the shield clicks on the back. Like, I think most Captain America's from Marvel Legends does this. But to me personally, just the colors on this make him look so exceptional. He pops out so much on the shelf that every time I look at my shelf where he is, he's the first figure I notice. One of the first. I got like Falcon flying in the background, so he pops out a little bit more. But like I'm saying, this is amazing to me. Look at this dude, bro. Look at him, man. I love doing this pose specifically. Uh, because he's just grabbing the shield off his back, which is pretty much what he's gonna do when he gets suiting up. I always love doing it like this. He doesn't hit it as good as Ultimate Captain America. I would say that's because of the shape of the shield. Uh, Ultimate Captain America is perfect circle. This one's not a circle. But yeah, my only complaint coming down to this is the same complaint I have for most shielded action figures from Marvel Legends is I right here the clip-on joint, it gets loose, it slides, doesn't really hold it well. I do kind of wish there's a way that they could do straps, but that might require two shields or a shield that you can't do anything with. Because I think the Mafex one came with two different shields, one that like had a peg, and then another one that came with straps to go in the hands. I think I might be wrong, but I kind of wish we went with straps instead. It'd be pretty cool. It'd probably be really hard to do. Uh, like if we did adjustable ones, that'd be pretty hard, but it would be pretty cool. And I think it would pretty much take this figure to a new level, just because I'm not a fan of how the shield works right now. Like, like I said, you can fudge it, but it slides if you hit it too hard. It will slide or get bent or easily breaks. And then we want him to hold a shield and be active and mobile with it and not have to worry too much. So that would be my only real complaint with this guy. Besides that, I'm pretty happy, really happy. And like I said, I'll probably give this guy 9 out of 10. I mean, it's full reuse, but it's a Walmart exclusive, and that's what I think reuse and stuff like this should be for Walmart exclusives. Like, that's fine with me. It shouldn't be something that everybody wants as an exclusive for somewhere. But like I said, I'm very happy, and I'm very happy to own this guy. Next up, we got Iron Man Model 20. If I remember correctly, this isn't actually Model 20. I think it's like Model 19 or something, or 17. I know it's not actually Model 20, and it was kind of an uproar in the community that they kind of did it wrong. I will say I'm pretty excited to unbox this one. This one is my favorite looking in this wave by miles. And I would say this wave is pretty fun. I know it was showing up at some of the discount stores pretty fast, but I would say it's a really good wave. I don't know what's going on in the economy that makes stuff show up in these discount stores so fast. But overall, this guy's a really good looking action figure. He kind of feels kind of like really like 90s. Just ripped out the comics, put in my hand here. I feel like I'd have the memories at random antique stores out in the mountains, walking in and finding these 50-cent comics, and this Iron Man will be on here. Right here, you'll see one of my only issues is this hand for me, his left hand, will not click in all the way, I guess. And when it does, it still falls right back out. So that is a little bit aggravating for me, and you'll see I struggle with it. And the entire time I was trying to pose it, do anything with it, this continued to happen throughout. So I think that might just be me. Haven't seen anyone else talk about it, but I also haven't watched too much videos on this guy. But man, let me tell you, I think he looks amazing. I like how the gold is shiny, the bread is shiny. I like how these back fins look. It looks really nice. I'm very satisfied with this guy visually. It almost feels like also like he could be out of a video game in a sense. Now, this isn't the one to me that is like Marvel vs. Capcom. I did get that one for Christmas, and I'll have a video going up eventually, I think. But this one to me is kind of just feels like very 90s. You see, we do these blast hands right here. I'm not a fan of these hands per se, just because you don't get any like a lot of movement with them for the blast hands. And we do get some cool blast effects, these bright blue ones, which I think this is my first time getting them in this shade of blue specifically. And I mean, if you buy Iron Man figures, you probably have these already, but I would never fault Marvel Legends for packing these in, even if people have hundreds of them, because the goal is to hopefully on their end probably grow the business, and the more new people that buy this, they won't have this. So I can't complain about that. I'll never complain about getting the same accessory too many times, as long as it is a good accessory. But getting into articulation here, we have a really good head movement on him. He's a flying guy. He needs to be able to look really down, look really up. Every direction needs to be pretty much like the most important part to him right now, in my mind, for a flying figure is the head articulation. Even on a regular figure, it's really up there. It's always top 3. But for a flying action figure, it's top 1 for me. If he can't look down or look up the certain way he needs to when he's flying, then don't release it. The shoulder pads do move pretty nice. They pop off pretty easily if you need to remove them, but they don't hinder too much in my opinion, just because you can kind of rotate them like this I'm showing here. So I do think it's a really cool function, and I don't think there's a concern for breaking. There's this nicely hidden butterfly joint. It's very beautifully hidden. I wasn't even sure it had it until I started messing around with it. And right here I'm discovering, I'm like, dang, it's got a butterfly joint on it too, and it does, and it works pretty well too. I'm really satisfied. They snuck a lot in here to get bicep swivel, double elbows, and like I said, on my other arm, his forearm and his hand pop off a lot for me. But like I said, I think that's just me. If it's widespread, let me know if you guys have the same issue, but I don't know about it. But the way this figure moves in my hands, I think a lot of that has to do with the look of it, but it all feels like this is how he would move to me. Like, oh, so robotic-y and like sudden. Like, it's not smooth at all how he would move, I feel like. But we kick out, uh, pretty standard thigh swivel, double jointed knees. They don't go too far. I do like how the ankle movement is set up here. I was scared it's gonna be too limited, but it actually goes a pretty good amount with that like rubber overlay on there. So I'm not too disappointed by that. That's what I was most nervous about. And like I said, here's that hand consistently giving me issues. And I would say it does drop it a little bit for me, like the enjoyment I'm having, just because I can't do too much. Like I can't get him to do a blast too high because it falls apart. And I mean, it's Iron Man. I need to be able to make him do a blast, right? So that does hinder my enjoyment on this guy. But like I said, I think this is just a QC issue that I got. And now you see, I did get this back on finally. And like I was telling you, I was struggling. It's already came back off. It's hard to get it to point up and shoot out on here just because of how loose it is on mine. And I tried to get in there. I even tried heating it up, even though I didn't want to. But like I said, I think, I ain't a professional poser. I'm not crazy like some of the other people on TikTok and Instagram and stuff, man. But I think this pose looks kind of nice. I think it looks pretty good. And I think it's very accurate to what Iron Man would do. I think he looks crazy cool. And that's the most important thing, man. If that figure is giving off aura, it's a good day. It's a good day if the action figure is making me feel great. And you see right here, it popped off, and I'm like, screw this. Let me test it like this. And just for the photo, because it'll be kind of hidden like this. Like, obviously, it's way too skinny. Doesn't look realistic in there. But I was struggling so hard that I wanted just to try to hit the right angle that I want to produce here. But, you could do pretty much. Like, I'm trying to think if there's anything I'd add articulation wise. I do, the team is limited. I don't know how much of this is reuse or not, but I think it's a pretty good figure. Works pretty well for what it is. And honestly, like, I'd probably say it's a top 5 Marvel Legend Iron Man that's been released so far. Just in my opinion, haven't been too big of a fan of a lot of the Iron Mans that they have released or Iron Man figures in a 112 form in general. And this one's definitely top of my charts right now. I think this and that classic like first appearance one was really nice too. But man, this one's a lot of fun to play with. You pick it up, you won't put it down. Next up, we got She-Hulk. Wait. Next up, we got She-Hulk. This is one of my most excited figures in this wave. Probably, yeah, it is my most excited. One of the figures I was the most scared that would shoot up in price this year, given how like Power Princess and a couple of the other figures from that Power Princess wave shot up really high and sold out really fast. We randomly had that this year just because I think they're underproducing a lot of figures right now. Uh, Probably scared because the sales aren't happening because people are waiting for discount. And somehow she turned up inside of Ross's. But I know there's a few downsides to this figure, like no head movement. But honestly, look at her. She's beautiful. This is an amazing looking action figure. I know, so, like I said, some people had some different complaints. I would love an actual ab crunch. I think it's BS that the Star Wars line, the Fortnite line, they can have ab crunches and it's no big deal. But for Marvel Legends, we need to celebrate them for having an ab crunch. I think it's BS, but this head sculpt is beautiful. The paint on the hair is beautiful. The green is beautiful. And I would say the one thing I noticed people got this is that the joints are a different shade of green in the photos and videos.
and maybe a little bit in mine, but I'll tell you, in hand, it's not something I noticed at all. Not once. And I'm very excited for that reuse. It's going to come with the Fantastic Four suit. I know people were buying her at Ross and doing it themselves. I was gonna, and I never found it. Here I'm pointing out the knee joints. They don't look different to me in person. They don't really pick up that different on camera, in my opinion, right now either. But I know when I first saw them, they did. I will say though, I do have some issues, like I'm showing right here. Okay, I'm not looking at her butt here, but you'll see there's like a gash in the thigh swivel. I forgot how crazy some of this parts look, man. But I swear that's not what we're doing. We're just pointing out some of the QC issues for me. Her uh, knee swivels, no leg swivel, man, whatever it is right now. That wants to come off, and it's like a gash in the back of her thigh swivel for some reason. But we do get fists, and we have these grabbing hands that are on her right now. And we get this broken gun, which I don't think I ever figured out how to actually display her doing it. Like I was saying, I was struggling too hard with that gun, and I couldn't ever get it. I didn't know how to fully do it. But getting the articulation, like I was saying, we don't get much in the head. There's this giant, luscious, beautiful hair, very 80s of her, and I'm not upset by that. You know what I mean? It is on that ball joint, and I don't like that at all. I like that's like double ball. I like the regular ball joint that can, I don't know the right word for it, but the one that we've been getting all before her. I don't like the new one. We don't have a butterfly joint. We do get a nice T pose. We can get uh, double jointed elbows, bicep swivel. Works pretty nice. Standard Marvel Legends hands. There's It's pretty much your standard Marvel Legends woman articulation, just on an upscaled body. What a not, but it just looks very beautiful because this is nice shade of green, right? And this head sculpt is carrying it, making it so nice. Like we get this torso crunch, and it really doesn't do much either for us. It helps support her heavy head though. Her hair is very heavy. We can kick up regular thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and then like I said, we do have this boot swivel here. And like I said, my boot swivel is loose, but the ankles do have really good movement on her, which is really good. But as you can see right here, my boot swivel, it just wants to fall off. And you can see right there that thigh swivel has a big gash in it. And so every time I move it like that, it kind of gets ready to pop off. It feels like I could rip this figure without needing to, as you can see, which could be. I haven't seen other people say it. I watched a few reviews on her when she first released. I didn't see a lot of people say that, so I think it might just be me. But who knows? But like I'm saying, the articulation on her is standard. Realistically, I'm just excited to get a larger than life She-Hulk action figure that just looks very beautiful. My wish list is we get Fantastic Four version and a modern day comic version of her, and I will be satisfied. And obviously, she's a beautiful bodybuilding looking woman right here. And this is one of my favorite poses to put her in just because she looks so good. And you see right here, I can just rip these off and put them back on almost like a Build-A-Figure, which is really weird to me. But yeah, that's is what it is, I guess. I think it's just me, not sure. It does give it a little bit of issues on my end for trying to pose her, but I can make it work. I did try to fly her. I did stuff her in a suitcase and fly her across a few states. So who knows? Maybe that had an impact on it. You see, I am struggling to get her stand just because of how heavy her head is and how loose some of my body parts are on her, which is why I said the torso crunch doesn't do much, but it helps try to balance her a little bit. You see, I struggle just because of how heavy her hair is and how weak some of my joints are, but I kind of get it right there, and it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with her still. Next up, we got Sam Wilson, Captain America. This is that comic version that was a Target exclusive, and I was pretty excited to get this. I do really like Sam Wilson's character in the MCU as well as in the comics, and I really, really love how this suit looks. I know it is very similar to the MCU look, which I really, really liked at the end of the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. And I really wish we weren't getting a new one in a new blue. It looks good, but it doesn't look as good as this first one, in my opinion. This packaging, I really like the art on it. It's very modern art, and it looks very nice. And this guy, I don't know if it's reuse or not fully. What all is reuse versus not. I didn't start collecting legends. I think until like November 2022. Was when I started collecting them. October 2022 around that time. But we do have pins in the arm and pins in the knee. So obviously that's a big sign that this is mostly reuse going on here, and you can kind of tell. Not saying it looks bad, but it looks dated compared to a lot of the other figures, even just in this video alone. But I know why they re-released this. I would assume they probably don't have plans for an updated Sam for a little minute, at least not in this suit for comics. And like I said, the Target one or the new movie one is out. It's at my local Target right now, and I want to get it, but I'm not sure yet. But we'll talk about that when we get a little bit closer to some of the things I care about the most. The shield, like I showed on Captain America earlier, works pretty much exactly the same. This is the same shield they've been doing for I don't know how long now. And I have that same complaint with just that clip on right there. It's really hard, especially on this Sam. His forearms are kind of skinnier than like the Ultimate Captain America, Secret Empire Captain America body. So this shield does slide off a lot. If I'm being honest, that was my biggest complaint because I'm trying to get him in a flying pose and the shield is just falling off here. Uh, right here we do get the backpack. Obviously, this is how he flies. This is the one that has the wings on there. It's a good amount of articulations on here. The wings come on, and the wings were what I was most excited for, especially after unboxing Angel. Like, I really thought that these wings are going to be crazy cool because Angels are amazing. And I'll tell you what, these wings are a little disappointing. I know the figures pretty much, I think, all by the looks of it, a lot of it is reused. And it is nice that you get some movement here, but it's pretty disappointing. And if you do watch the new Captain America Brave New World, uh, Falcon, I think it's Daniel Ramirez Falcon, as well as Sam Wilson, Captain America, those new ones are absolutely amazing. Hinges throughout the wings, they move so much nicer, and it's so tempting to pick them up, just put those wings on this body. But yeah, the wings are pretty disappointing. They kind of clip on the same way on the new one, but it's like three of them throughout the whole wing, so you get a lot of options. And I try to do probably one of the most iconic poses for Sam Wilson, Captain America, with the wings in front, kind of shielding him. It's a little bit hard to do. I will say he does have good head movement. The head sculpt is pretty solid. I'm very happy with that, and I am very happy with the colors on him. Uh, I don't know what I'm trying here. I don't know what I'm trying fully, but I'm just kind of messing around with them. Uh, Seeing what I can do because I was like, man, these wings are kind of whack. Like, look how small the wings are, man. They're definitely disappointing. I don't think I'd recommend this figure to a lot of people, um, specifically unless you're a really big Sam Wilson fan. I'd almost tell everyone right now to pretty much just pick up the new Brave New World one. It does have a masked head and an unmasked head, and the unmasked head looks pretty similar to this, but it's like an all blue suit. It's really nice. I kind of really want to pick it up just because how good it is. It's in stores in this pose. I'm trying to get him to cover him. Like I said, you can't really do it with him, and that's honestly pretty upsetting for me. I'm not happy about that, if that makes sense. But getting into articulation here, like I've said in this video, for a flying figure, which I'm just realizing how many of them I'm doing, uh, you need to be able to look up and down a good amount. This head movement is going to be the most important, most pivotal part of this figure, and he does it. He looks really good that way, and that is a saving grace on this figure is his head movement and how good that head sculpt looks and how good he pops. Now, obviously, this is dated, in which for some reason I feel like the Marvel Legends from a year or two ago have better head movement than what they're doing now, and that's aggravating. We have no bicep swivel. I mean, not bicep. We have no butterfly joints, and it's probably because of the. Actually, I don't know if it's gonna be for the wings, but who knows? Because no idea. But T pose, they're double jointed, but first they're pinned, so it kind of sometimes with pin figures they don't really go further and I'm scared to push it because they might break. So he kind of only does your regular 90, almost single jointed in a sense. He's a pretty decent crunch forward and a pretty good crunch backwards. I think this is also important for a flying figure to be able to do these. That's really why I'm a big fan of that Mezco Superman, because he pretty much can shift his torso and his head and neck pretty much in a perfect ways. But we do get this waist swivel here, blocked by that belt, and like I said, it depends on knees. We get boot swivel. That's pretty hidden just because it turns to a red boot. Pretty good ankle and feet movement there. That double jointed knees don't go too far. I feel like the size for the pins kind of hinders articulation sometimes for how far they can kick backwards or bend their elbows and arms, and you see that here. But this is a reissue, and I understand, you want to get this on shelves for that movie comes out. They're a company, they got to make their money, and I'm not going to hate on a company for trying to do what they can do, especially when I know this team wants to put a lot of love when they can. Now, when they put some BS pricing or cheap out somewhere, I don't think they should, then I'll be mad. Because there's a few figures that I get mad about that they have done. Like the Green Goblin. Why he ain't got ankle movement like that, I don't know. I don't know. But as you can see, you can get some pretty good and fun poses, in my opinion, with him still. But I'm voicing over this after watching the Amazing's review of the new one, and just thinking how much better this would be if it just had the new wings. If everything was the same but he had the new wings, this figure would be, honestly, I would say, amazing. So in the moment, I was not as disappointed as I sound now with this guy. I was disappointed because I thought the wings were going to be a little bit better. I'm going to tilt the camera up and try to get some, like, oh, he's in the air above us things. But the wings just don't move that good. They don't really help playing too much. And, I mean, they did fix that on the new Captain America, Sam Wilson. So I guess I can't fault them too hard anymore. But, man, look at this dude. This dude does look really good still. I'm pretty happy with him still, honestly. Just seeing him in this pose, he looks really good. Seeing him on my shelf right now, he looks really good. And like I said, I wouldn't recommend this over the newest one. But man, I'm pretty happy. I don't regret picking him up, honestly. He looks really good right now. Look at my own video, man. I'm pretty satisfied with him. I think it's a dated body. I do really like the new wings, and I might pick it up just to try out the new wings and swap it on here. If I do get the new one, I'll make a video and I'll put those new wings on him and on this guy too and show it off. And we'll see what that looks like. Because like right here, like what I'm saying, it has 3 joints of articulation on those wings, and it will help cover them up better. Uh, like guys, I'm getting this pose off right here, and I'm telling you right now, if you saw the new wings, it would hit 10 times better with those new wings. And now we got that Target exclusive Warbird. I know this one was not the funnest for people to try to get. I lucked out. I'm not saying sold out pre-order super fast, but I found it in my local Target. It was the only one they had, and I was super ecstatic about it. This is that new packaging. I think this was it 80th or 85th anniversary stuff is very, very nice. Almost all the figures in this has been very great. I think it was a great year total for Legends, and I think this, just shows it. But this new boxing is very, very nice. I love this new packaging. This design of it looks great. The art on the site look great. The fact that if you're an inbox collector, you can store this in almost any way possible since it's completely flat on each side. So I'm pretty happy with this. And as you see, just a full 360 of everything right here. It's not like a crazy packaging, but I think it's simple and effective and looks great. Shows you what you're getting. But getting this out here, I think it looks good. I know there was talks about it being potentially undersized, but I think we're kind of seeing that being a trend. With potentially the Marvel Legends team trying to go to there's no confirmation on this, but it does seem like they may be going to a true 1/12 size and shrinking down on some of the figures slowly over time, which, I mean, they're still close enough. It's not like it's a McFarlane size compared to Legends. Like, I think it's still okay, still good. And this is that super articulated body that they talk about here, and I don't think that's what we should be calling this, especially when Hasbro has done butterfly joints and ab crunches with torso crunch on Fortnite female bodies, Star Wars Black Series female bodies. I mean, shoot, I don't know about the other lines, but those two specifically I do know. So I wouldn't say this is something we should give them praise for. It should just be the standard. And looking at this head sculpt with the kind of like blowing wind hair, I think it's very beautiful. I think it looks amazing. It is my preferred out of the two head sculpts we do get here. We do have two closed fits on her. These not grabbing, but kind of like open, like stopping hands. Like maybe she's lifting something or pushing something. She is super strong. We do get these nice, cool effects. Complete reuse, I believe. But like I was saying earlier, I will never complain about getting these because I think it's just something. If someone picked this up for the first time ever, which man, they got a lucky find. This wasn't easy to get, but if they did, then that's a good thing for them. They got these for the first time, and if not, I use these all the time randomly. Because sometimes I like triple layer them things, so they look super crazy, and I think they look pretty cool with her. I mean, I would have loved. I don't know what else I would have wanted honestly with her. I think it's fine. Um, yeah, I don't know if there's something else I would have used. Honestly, that would say that would look better. If you guys have any ideas for that, let me know what potentially accessory you guys would have wanted instead with her. But I do think these work good enough and look fine. I honestly am thankful they gave us that because I wasn't expecting it when they first announced this, or I got kind of like teased. And this is the other head sculpt. This one has a little bit less movement, just because it goes down in the back, but it also looks really, really good. Like I said, Warbird is one of my favorite characters. I love that new Avengers run a lot. So getting this figure meant a lot to me, and I was super stressed out that I wouldn't be able to ever get it. So I am thankful I did get to find this beautiful thing. Uh, that red like scarf on the hip is a little loose. And moves. We see this head movement. We don't get too much. Obviously, that's just due to it being a female figure with long hair. We can easily go over a T post though, almost near a Y. We do have we have the butterfly. And I would say they do their job pretty good. She can kind of like cross his hands in the middle, which is very impressive for Marvel Legends female. And like I was saying, this shouldn't be a praise. This should just be the normal for them. But man, it does feel great. But it also makes you never want to buy another female that doesn't have this body, bicep swivel, uh, yeah, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, standard woman, ab crunch or torso crunch right here. Basically, does nothing forward and a little bit backwards. But we do get this. I'm trying to separate them so you see them each separate. So you'll have this is just a regular ab, and then now I'm adding the torso and the ab to bend it, and it works pretty well, honestly. Uh, you know, I'm pretty satisfied with that. And then you're going backwards without the torso. Then we're gonna add the torso, and she bends pretty far back, like she's getting her spine broken or something. Doesn't look natural at all. I'll tell you that much. She kicks up a pretty good amount. We do get right there. You see the thigh swivel was pretty hidden for the most part. I mean, once you point it out, you'll probably see it, but if you forget, you won't even notice. Double jointed knees, pretty good ankle movement there. We don't have like a boot swivel or anything right there. She kicks out pretty good. There's not a lot of hindrance going on here besides the head. Just based on the suit she's wearing, there's not much to hinder. So I am pretty satisfied with this. I think aesthetically, visually, it's very nice looking. This is that other head. This is my least favorite of the two, but it does look pretty good still. I think it would make a really good Black Cat head potentially as well. Doesn't really feel like Warbird or Carol Danvers as much as it would feel for like Black Cat, honestly, I would say. Uh, but it does look good, I would say. It's not my favorite, and like I said, the movement is not there on this one, even worse because of how the hair is positioned on this one. But she does look good. Does look pretty good, and you can get some really cool poses. It's Warbird. She does pretty much everything. But one of my favorite poses that I imagine her in is pretty much, I think it's on the box too. If it might not be, but it's literally just her flying like I'm putting her, that knee bent back like this, and basically in space, ready to whoop some ass. And that's what I expect from Warbird. She's literally one of the strongest characters in Marvel. And I mean, what else would we expect from her, bro? She looks amazing in action figure form, and I'm very happy with this. And I do have a long list coming from Marvel Legends now of pretty much wanting, I guess, more Carol Danvers figures on these bodies, or a super articulated body is what I want a Carol Danvers, pretty much every form of her, on one of these bodies, and I'll be pretty satisfied. I don't know what the cost behind the scenes is to do this body versus the body they've been using for probably like half a decade now. But honestly, it'd probably be worth it because every time they do a figure on these bodies, they're not easy to get. They sell pretty fast. And so I mean, hey man, let's keep it going. What you see here, I'm just having some fun posting her around. You can have the head is hindered obviously due to the hair, but then that's why this crunch works pretty good with the ab and torso crunch combination here. Really helps save it, and it's just insane how much more fun it is to play with one of these quote unquote super articulated bodies versus any other woman action figure that Legends team makes. Like, I'm looking at the classic suit Wanda from a couple years ago, and she is a statue. She doesn't move at all, especially that giant plastic cape. And I'm just thinking, man, if they came through and gave Wanda a comic suit, Wanda, a few of them with this body too, I'd be very thankful and grateful. But yeah, it's Warbird. I'm pretty satisfied here. Just pretty much having fun. And here's a quick overview of just every figure that I just unboxed in this video. As you see, they all scale pretty well together. You can kind of see that Carol maybe kind of looks a little undersized compared to everybody else. You can also see how large She-Hulk is in comparison. I'm going to go through and pretty much show size comparisons and what these figures would look like with some of the other figures I think they would pretty much end up on your shelf with. So I'm going to show that, and then we'll show how I displayed them as well. So I kind of have like my Captain America, Shield, Hydra type stuff going on here. I do have more that would kind of fit this theme, but these kind of Captain America related people with, that Ultimate Captain America on the opposite side of that new Captain America. That 2 of the 3 from the Shield 3-pack, and all of them kind of blend pretty well. They look really good together, honestly. And I would say, Hydra or Secret Empire, Captain America, and Sam Wilson, they fit in really well with these guys. I think they look really good with them. And, that Nick Fury looks pretty good as well. Sharon Carter, Hydra Stomper, it all looks really good. And I'm pretty satisfied with how they ended up together. Now you can see my Iron Man display. Like I said, I don't have many. I did forget when I was talking about that Extremis one, who might be my favorite still because that suit is still nostalgia to me. But as you see, they all look pretty good together. It's my Hall Armory. That's still pretty small right now. I don't have a definite favorite. Like, I'm not obsessed with Iron Man 112 yet, and I really hope one day that will change because they do make some good looking suits. And I did want to show that Tony head sculpt unmasked on that new quote unquote Model 20. You know, I think it looks pretty good. Not amazing. I don't even know what he's supposed to technically look like, if he still has the mullet or not at this point, or if he was RDJ'd already. But who knows? But I would say it works decently well, but it won't go on my shelf like this. And here's my kind of my Hulk shelf. I mean, I do got like Joe Fix It and like Gray Hulk, but these ones kind of blend in together. She Hulk, regular 80th anniversary Hulk, or no, that's the 20 years of Marvel Legends actually, I believe, and Scar. They look pretty good together. I mean, She Hulk's smallest, none of the greens match. I think that might be a good thing, but it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. And like I was saying, that new Avengers is one of my favorite runs of all time with Bendis. So this is kind of all I have right now for my new Avengers. Ultimate Captain America, The Thing, which I'm not the craziest fan of that. Hopefully Legends can give us a new Fantastic Four wave. Honestly, come through classic suits, modern suits, and just keep feeding us because we're entering the year of Fantastic Four. Like, we might even be like, come on. We're in the year, actually. We need it. They're even in Marvel Rivals now. That Warbird looks great. She's the smallest. It maybe makes sense. I mean, that's that older Black Suit Spidey Man. I need to get the new Secret Wars one. And Extremis Iron Man. He's the closest I have for that. I'm missing a lot. I need to get that Luke Cage Iron Fist 2-pack. But, like I said, I'm pretty happy with this. And this will be a long-term goal to get this show fully expanded out because the new Avengers roster changed a lot. People had different suits throughout the different points of it, and it's going to be pretty hard because I don't even think we have an Echo at all, but maybe one day we'll get there. And these are just my shelves. kind of before. I was kind of just putting stuff on the shelves, trying to make room. This is in the process of making 3 different YouTube videos, unboxing. Honestly, probably like 20 something action figures and nonstop spam. So, I do have a full tour after I did my room and before I just got it destroyed again on my TikTok. But I am going to show you what I do update these shelves to for the figures I just showed you. The only ones I don't show are my new Avengers setup that's in my bedroom on like a fire escape that I'm still trying to expand before I show it off because it's pretty bare and empty right now. But as you see, my shelves are pretty ruined just from doing this unboxing. But it is what it is. But you can see right here, I'm showing you, this is what I ended up on. Top left, we kind of have like a older, classical, non-modern shelf. A good mixture. I don't know how long it's going to stay like that. It's going to keep growing. This is my more modern era, that's like 1985 onward. And anything that kind of feels like it stayed. And I think it looks pretty cool. You know, it needs some more figures on there, I would say. And then I do have Ka-Zar separately on my Mythic Legions area, and he's hanging out with some dinosaurs and Godzilla. So I think that's pretty cool. But that should be it this time, guys. If you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.